If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really hope you enjoy this, and if you do, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to turn your notifications on so that you will be notified next time I post a video. So let's start. Today's video is actually going to be about easy fan lashes. So what are easy fan lashes? They're fairly new in the industry and they're actually pretty exciting. There's a lot of controversy about easy fans initially, so we weren't really sure about adding them to our collection of lashes. But after working with quite a lot of different suppliers, we did decide that they're really useful, and they solve quite a lot of problems for beginner lash artists. So the benefits of using easy fan lashes are actually the fact that beginners that have not been trained in volume can actually use these lashes, and they're like really easy to fan out. Like they basically fan themselves. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that, and I'm going to show you the different techniques on how you can do it in this video. Okay guys, I'm going to show you guys how we work here with easy fans. So here in the first method, what you're going to do is you're just going to make sure that your tweezer is parallel to the strip. That's extremely important. And then you're going to take a lash fan, you're going to remove it off the strip towards yourself, ensuring that you have a very good grip on the tweezer and that you're using the sweet spot of the tweezer, which is right there, 1 to 2 millimeters away from the tip, as I'm showing you guys. And then you're gonna place the fan back on the strip and you're gonna just fan it out gently, ensuring that you got the perfect fan that you want. Then, so the really cool part here is that since you have adhesive here at the base, you can manipulate the fan much easier than when there is no adhesive at the base. So you can actually remove it from the bottom. You can kind of adjust it like this. You can fluff it out like this from the top, just like gently tapping on it, wiggling it out, pulling the fibers like this, and it's not going to fall apart. So once you're satisfied with your tweezer, you're just going to remove it and dip it into the adhesive and then apply it to the client's natural lash. But the point is that you can just play around with it. The most important thing when you first get your easy fans is to just kind of play around with them. Get yourself the sticky strip, some adhesive, your good tweezers, and just get a feel for them, and ensure that you feel really comfortable manipulating them. So that was the first method, and that's one of the easiest methods I find. But then the other method would be the shimmy method. So you can do the same movements as you would with the actual regular Russian volume fans. So you're gonna thread the tweezer through, and then you're gonna just make this back and forth motion, trying to open up the fan with your tweezers. And once you feel like it is open sufficiently for your liking, you're gonna remove it off the strip. And there you go. The fan is not perfect, so we can obviously play around with it some more by using either the pinch technique or placing it onto the sticky dot. But generally, this method works really well once you put some practice into it. So just taking the tweezer, gently threading it through, doing the back and forth motion, ensuring that you're in the sweet spot of your tweezer, like this, and then lifting up and towards yourself. And you got a fan that is ready to be applied. And then you can open and close your tweezer lightly, and you can see that it will not fall apart because the adhesive at the base is holding it together. So you basically just picked, you just customized your fan. You chose the amount of fibers that you wanted in your fan, and how wide you want it, how narrow you want it, whichever case the case may be. And yeah, and then you can also, if there's something you don't like about it, you can also place it back on the strip and then remove any extra fibers that are sticking out that are not to your liking. Then pick it back up again and apply it to the client's natural lash. So this is the two techniques. Now, the other things that I find really helpful when you're working with easy fans is to have access to these two items. One is this glue dot. It's not a glue dot, it's a sticky dot, sorry about that. And then the other thing is the glue cup with little slits on it. So the reason these items are really helpful when working with easy fans is because, for example, if you want to pinch the base and make the base a little thinner, you could technically put your easy fan into one of the slits and kind of like thread it through like this, back and forth, with a back and forth motion, kind of like this, as I'm doing right now, thinning it out and making it more fine. Okay, so there's a little bit of practice that is required, opening and closing your tweezer, but the point is that you can make the fan much finer at the base with this little aid, which is why it's great to have. Now, the other thing that is awesome with these easy fans is to have this adhesive dot. So the adhesive dot is super helpful because what you do is you just, if you don't want to use this glue sticky strip, what you could do is use this instead. Or if, for example, this sticky strip, it's no longer sticky, it's good to have this, because if you're working with this method, what you do is you just basically take an amount of fibers that you need, you place them, and then they just fan, and you kind of do like a bounce motion, and then they just fan out on their own, which is really fun. So I actually love playing around with that. I just find it so fun. So you basically just take the fan, which is closed, you make like a bouncing motion, and then it will open up. So you just kind of like press into it. It's kind of like, if you can just picture like a child jumping in a bouncy house. I know that's like a very funny, weird, irrelevant, what do you call it? But anyway, the point is that if you just put your fan and then make it kind of bounce, it will open up, which I think is so fun. So we can try it again. You can just see, we take a fan that is not even open, we take a fan that is closed, okay, and then, well, this one is a little bit open, so we can try another one that is closed. So we can take a fan that is closed, and then we're gonna press into the sticky strip, and then it's gonna open up. So all you have to do is you just play around with the fibers, open them up manually with your tweezer, and yeah, and it's going to open up and make you a great fan. So you have to really play around with it because it's also it requires a little bit of practice, but the point is that it does work as an aid very well. So we can try it again. It works the best with fans that are anything from 2D to 6D. Once you start going into anything that's above 6D or even mega volume, it becomes a little challenging to work with this adhesive dot, sticky dot, but for that you can use the little cup. So as you can see, this is a 4D fan, I believe, if I can see correctly. Yeah, it's a 4D fan. So yeah, it opens up really easily on the sticky dot. So there you go. And then it's important also to have a very good grip of your tweezer, ensuring that you grasp it really, really well, because if you do not, it's going to fall apart. So tip number 1 is that you need to use the right amount of lash adhesive. So unlike single lashes, these easy fan lashes should not be dipped again in the glue, because as you're gonna make the fan, it's actually gonna be already made, and so all you need to do is dip it once and then apply it to the client's natural lashes. You don't need to crystallize it the way you would regular volume fans. So and then the other thing that's important is to make sure that you're not applying too much glue, because if you apply too much glue, just like with regular volume lashes, the glue will ride up on the fan and actually close your fan right up. So this is going to be really important to ensure that you're only dipping 1 to 2 millimeters of the fan into the glue. The other thing that would be really important for the same, one of the same reasons, is to make sure that you're using a glue that is fairly quick. 0.5 seconds to 1 second is 1 second is ideal, but if you're using an adhesive that is too slow, like 2 seconds, you're gonna need to hold that fan for quite a while to ensure that the glue dries up. And so very often what happens is that the lash artist will release the fan, and then the fan will close right up because it hadn't had time to adhere properly to the natural lash. So the other thing that's important to remember as well is humidity, ensuring that you have the correct humidity in your room. If your humidity is too high, you risk speeding up your glue, which is not always a bad thing. But if you're still really slow and your glue goes from 2 seconds to 0.5 seconds, you know, by the time you put the fan close to the lashes, the glue will have already dried up, and then you're gonna have poor retention. So that's gonna cause another issues. Or the same, vice versa, if you have low humidity, it might slow down your glue. So just keeping that in mind as well, that it could really affect, you know, your fan, the humidity that is in your room. And then the other thing that's really important is to ensure that you're using the correct tweezers. So each tweezer has a sweet spot, like a gripping spot. So it's important to kind of test out the tweezers and ensure that your easy fans are gripping in the correct spot. That that the tweezer is gripping the easy fans, and that you're using the correct sweet spot. Usually we like to use the J-curved, like the curved tweezer, for working with easy fans, but it's up to your preference. It really depends on the preference of the lash artist. Some lash artists prefer to work with a 90-degree tweezer. Once again, it really will depend on you. And the last tip that I'm gonna have for you guys is to be patient and don't hurry. Making perfect fans still requires quite a lot of practice. Even with easy fans, they're not going to be perfect initially, and you know, they can be a little bit asymmetrical as you're beginning. That's perfectly fine. The most important thing is just to continue practicing, and you will ensure that the fans become better and better and better every time. So basically, it's important to still remember that you have to get used to working with these fans, and it's going to take a little bit of time, but the learning curve is definitely going to be, it won't be as steep as it is with regular lashes. So anyway, if you have any questions, please be sure to put them in the comments below. We'll be answering all of your questions. And if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to our channel. And